Funding for Greater Chattanooga is provided by EPB Fiber Optics.
When we started this project, I had no earthly idea that it would have the impact and that it would reach the number of people it's reached. The Children's Holocaust Memorial grew out of, I think, that desire to educate people to our similarities and our needs for each other and the things that we can do to bring about a cohesive world, a world that respects each other. Did we have a plan? Did I have a plan? No. There was a much higher power in charge, and there was this hard-headed old lady who said, if you decide you want to do something, you can do it. You can change the world.
This original project started in the fall of 1997, and at that time it was merely a Holocaust study. It was designed to make children aware of how easy it is to go out into the world, see someone who looks differently, thinks differently, prays differently, and not be, oh my gosh, I'm afraid.
You know, this community is over 99% white, Anglo-Saxon, evangelical Protestant. And so we had kids who had not been outside of Marion County, and they'd never really interacted with people who were not like them.
It wasn't really intolerance, it was more we just didn't understand. I mean, before the project started, we really just kind of only knew our own little bubble. You know, we didn't realize that there was like a great big world out there.
I talked to our parent advisory committee, I talked to our teachers, and I went to Sandra Roberts and I said, you know, I'd like for us to start an after-school project, a study of the Holocaust. The reason we study the Holocaust, number one, because it's definitely a different culture, and yet not so different because the two religions grow out of each other and share common bonds. The other was it would definitely give them a worldview, and it would also allow kids to see how your tiniest words, your tiniest actions impact other people. The first year we required an adult from the family to come with the child to these studies.
We knew that we were not just educating those children, we were educating those families. For us, a lot of families never leave here. Their roots run very deep. And so by educating those parents, we were hoping to not only change lives, but even change a culture.
It was one of the best experiences I've ever had, seeing those children and those families learn about the Holocaust.
I'd love to see children excited to get that hook. And the greatest thing I think we ever did was make this personal.
When they started putting a face with the story, then you kind of connect to it more than you would if you're just looking at a history book and you have all these facts. All of these people that we're talking about, all these books we're reading, all the pictures we're looking at, they were people that had a story.
The fall of '98 finds us writing letters to anyone and everyone. They wrote celebrities. They would just find addresses for churches and they would send a request.
I thought, we might get a couple of thousand paper clips, and we can manage that. It'll be okay. We stopped counting paper clips at 30 million.
Everyone in the community counted paper clips, from the Senior Citizen Center to, I think my niece was about 3 when she was at least moving them across the table. So by educating and getting everyone in the community involved, this was not our project. This was Whitwell's project.
One evening, we were all just sitting around and we were saying, what are we going to do with these paper clips? And I said, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if we could secure an authentic German rail car that transported people to these camps, and we could transform that car into a car of life and hope. What we wanted to do then, and we got our parents and our community members involved in creating a place for the car. From CSX Railroad, B&B Crane, the men and women in this community who planted trees and made the butterflies to go around it, and the kids who put those paper clips in there. That's how we came to this memorial. And at some point I said, okay, we have so many artifacts that people have sent us from everywhere, but we wanted to have a place for these artifacts and a place that was accessible. So when we planned our new school, we planned a room specifically for these artifacts.
Just what we have in here that tells the story, just the documentation of all of those lives of the people that were killed in the Holocaust is outstanding in itself, because one day they're not going to be here for us to see. So that's the powerful part that I think comes from just even sitting in this library. I mean, we have one of the largest Holocaust libraries in the United States, in the Southeast. We have enough to teach the next generation that this did happen and that it doesn't need to happen again.
Our very first group of children, there were 16. 12 of them have college degrees. That doesn't happen. The next group, about the same number. So what we're seeing is that 80% of the kids that go through our project go to college, and they finish.
I do have my degree. My undergrad is in history with education tacked on, and I just completed my master's in Holocaust and Genocide Studies. I graduated August the 30th. So kind of literally made me who I am, the project did.
On your paper, explain or draw what you know about genocide. Here's a couple questions that'll help you get started.
It's just amazing to see how I love seeing the light bulb go off, It's like, gosh, look what they've learned. Look at all the things they've had the opportunity to experience, and look how it's changed their view.
Their world will never be the same. They will never see the world as only this beautiful valley. They know that they have the power to change the world and be heard. What's amazing about this project to me is the fact that over 20 years later, people are still talking about it. There is such a pride in this, and the fact that so many families have had children or they've been involved, or they've helped with the project, regardless of what it is. It has just brought, in my opinion, such a sense of unity towards a cause.
Bridges for peace, that's what I think about. Just a little paper clip made a bridge from a small town in Tennessee to people all over the world. And it's all because of the work of our children in this community.
The legacy that we're going to leave behind one day is going to be one that is of love and not hate, one that is of tolerance, and one that I can say my kids learned something more than just what was in the textbook.
I think that the importance of the Children's Holocaust Memorial in today's climate, its purpose, its mission now, is to demonstrate to the world that people of very diverse beliefs can come together and create a project that demonstrates love and respect. And I think that's so important now. Love and respect will conquer anything. And add integrity into that, and caring and compassion, and you can change the world. One clip at a time, one action at a time, one spoken word at a time. It only takes one. And this community is one.